Good morning and welcome back to Jonesboro, Arkansas. We're here at the disc side of heaven on a rainy, chilly morning here on this Saturday for round 2 of the Jonesboro Open. Brian Earhart joined here by Nate Perkins. Welcome back to Tournament Central. Nate, conditions have changed completely from yesterday. Yesterday being probably the best conditions we've ever seen here at disc side of heaven, and now cold, rainy. What does this do to the course?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're trying to play disc golf in the rain, it's going to be difficult. But specifically, the tee pads have been giving players issues, and I think this rain is going to just make it all the more difficult. So this field is actually used to grow and sell hay throughout the rest of the year, and so some of these tee pads have actually been destroyed in different years, and they've had to be replaced. And so there's up to 4 different teeing surfaces. Some of the turf is a little slick, and some of the turf actually has too much grip. So we're hearing players talk about that being an issue, and they're worried how the grip might change with all the moisture today.
Kind of a unique situation that the players have to deal with. I don't think they were really anticipating that. Yeah, you hear some players like Calvin Heimburg saying he thinks he has an advantage with less tread on his shoes compared to players wearing more robust soles, so to speak. Let's jump into the action for the FPO side. It's not Kristin Tattar up top. It's Haley King shooting 11 under par, showing off her skill set this week with 2 bogeys.
Yes, the most birdies we've seen all year. 13 understrokes, out of 18 holes. She was putting on 15 of the 18 yesterday. She has a lot of shapes up her sleeve right now, Brian. I mean, she is not just playing with one angle right now. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. She's throwing the hyzer flip with some flippy drivers, and she still has that force over that we're used to seeing.
And that actually helps you if you play on these open courses when the wind picks up. If you have a left to right crosswind, you don't have to rely on the hyzer flip and get slammed down. You can let the wind help you. You can adjust your release point to really let the wind help you rather than hurt you in these types of situations. So, yeah, the wind is kind of lower than we've ever seen it out here, but that also means that she gets to choose whatever's feeling most comfortable for her this week. And obviously it's been working the past 2 that she's been playing. Kat Mertsch on her heels as well. Always seems to play well here. Podium finished last year. Podium finished last week at the Champions Cup. And we were laughing just at the sheer confidence coming out of her yesterday.
Yeah, she was playing free. You can really see it in her body language, and she also had a crowd. She had the crowd at her back, Brian. I mean, she had a group of locals from Arkansas that were following her and cheering on her every shot. She was kind of flowing with the crowd, making them laugh and putting on a show for them, and I think that's where Kat Mertsch really shines.
I mean, she's a singer, she's a musician, she's a personality on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. She likes being out in front of the spotlight, in front of the people, making them laugh, like you said. But that always plays to her advantage. It doesn't seem like goofing off during a round. She threw a lefty backhand yesterday at hole 8, which is not her most comfortable shot, but she's just not afraid. And I think this is going to suit her well out here. I think she's totally fine playing in adverse conditions. So Haley's going to have to stay sharp if she wants to keep this lead. With that said, we talked to both Haley and Kat yesterday after their rounds. Let's take a listen, hear what they had to say.
I felt like I started off really slow. I took a bogey on a hole that I threw a left-handed backhand on, which was, I don't regret it, but probably should have thrown a softer up shot. But, I could have had a quicker start.
Do you feel like there's anything you need to improve on tomorrow, like legitimate game plan changes besides the lefty backhand?
No, man. Tomorrow's going to be a new day. I think the weather's going to be a little dicey, so I'm just going to come out tomorrow and see how it goes.
I don't want to say the course is soft, but I felt like I missed the first 7 holes. To shoot 11 down still felt pretty good. I think I took a bogey out there, so got to work on that, but I just got to keep capitalizing. I've yet to capitalize. I feel amazing today. Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
Your FPO lead card. Also joining Haley and Kat Mertsch, Missy, Gannon, and Aria Castruita on the other side of this commercial break. We'll talk those 2. We'll see you soon.
Kyle Klein stepping up for the birdie on 18.
Your Open champion, Gannon Burr.
Another record-setting weekend on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Back-to-back weeks. Winner coming from the chase card. Pretty special stuff. Gannon Burr, Kyle Klein, two young superstars on tour, showing you how to get it done.
Welcome back. Another member on that lead card today, Missy Gannon, 7 under par yesterday. Solid effort. She's probably not totally satisfied with the number, but I think there's tons of room to improve. Nate, it is raining today. It is a little chillier than yesterday. Do you feel like the adverse conditions compared to yesterday play to her advantage?
Yeah, I think Missy, has quite a bit of experience at this point. This is her 6th year on a full-time tour, and her and Tom always seem prepared for any set of conditions. Missy yesterday, she only missed 2 fairways, Brian. She was 90% fairway hits, 83% circle 2 in regulation, and her putter touched the ground 6 times in a 3-hole stretch yesterday. 7, 8, and 9. She had a 2-putt and 2 3-putts, one of those for a double bogey. So that's more times than her putters ever touched the ground in one round this year. So I think for her to shoot a 7 down with the putting stats that we see, I think she's pretty happy to find herself on the lead card.
Yeah, and I think with the adverse conditions, the big distance throwers are not going to get the luxury of being able to go all the way and get way down these fairways. I think Missy, if she stays prepared, like you said, I think she'll be right up there with them. And I think it plays to her advantage, especially with the fact that she's a spin putter, and it's easier to grip the disc when pretty much you're holding it with your whole hand rather than kind of shoving it with a push putt style. So I think she does have an advantage in these conditions. We'll just have to see if she can clean up the putting strokes, and we'll see what she has. But we did talk to Missy after her round today, so let's hear what she had to say yesterday.
Pressure to score is everywhere. I think every hole is gettable. You're going to see low scores across the field. So when you start adding bogeys and double bogeys into the equation, you kind of feel like you're losing strokes to a lot of people. So, you just got to push on every hole. The weather's going to be what it's going to be, and I have a great caddy and all the things I need. So, just come prepared and make adjustments where I need to. But I feel pretty confident.
Another player on the lead card joining Missy and Kat and Haley. Aria Castruita, 9 under par yesterday, the youngster from Texas, showing off her skills. Nate, do you think she can handle these conditions today?
I think so. Aria doesn't have a ton of experience on the tour, but she's been playing this game her entire life, and her family is here to support her, which, honestly, a caddy in the rain can make the biggest difference in the world. Not having to huddle under an umbrella and dry your disc off, having someone there pushing her cart. I believe her mother's going to be caddying for her today. She's going to have the umbrella over her, and she's going to be able to dry the disc off until the last minute, and sometimes that's all the difference.
I commentated on her a couple years ago when she won the NADGT in dramatic fashion. She dominated the tournament. And the thing that I was most impressed about, the thing that I was praising her the most on, was her touch. She was throwing touch shots better than most of the players in the FPO division that we've watched. The spin control, the nose angle control, the ability to get up and down without necessarily knowing the distance, extremely impressive. The fact that she has that under control already, the form will come, the distance will come. She obviously still has it, but that will improve over time. Touch is not something you can necessarily teach. So I think we could see a lot from her, given that she cleans up the strokes in the putting green and continues forward with that Texas-style spin putt.
Yeah, just one circle 2-putt yesterday to shoot a 9 under par. So she was parking a lot of the holes, and even her circle 1 makes, they were all like 16 feet and closer. So really interested to see if she's able to put them close in the rain today.
And another part of experience that she's getting is talking in front of the camera. We talked to her yesterday after her round. Let's hear what she had to say.
I played really good, but I was struggling the last tournaments on my putting and my drive. So when we came home, I just practiced on my putting, my form, and I just came out here and just crushed it. I was playing good, solid, straight, even though I had a few missed putts. But other than that, I played good. I was kind of keeping to myself a little bit, but just hearing they're just talking. But I think playing with good players makes me play better, even though, all the FPO are good, but playing with like Sarah Hogan, Jessica Wees, that fired me up. I was fired up.
There you have it. She's getting better on camera. She's also getting better playing on camera. After the break, we're going to kick it to the NPO division. We're going to talk all 4 players we're seeing today and a quick PDGA check-in as well. We'll see you then.
What makes the halal guys so deliciously different? You might have heard of our famously long cart lines that NYC fans happily stand in. Today, with over 100 plus restaurants across the globe, we are your place to experience authentic American halal. Enjoy our delicious falafel, Euro sandwich, platters, and sides topped with our famously flavorful white and hot sauces. Order online today and taste how we make different so delicious. The halal guys, bringing something deliciously different to the table.
Welcome back. Joined here by the PDGA's Hayden Henry. Hayden, completely different conditions today than we saw yesterday. What did you see from the entire field?
Yeah, we may have talked about those perfect conditions a little too much yesterday, but the rain is tapering off, and I think tomorrow the wind is supposed to pick up. TD Brad Pitts mentioned that the wind is coming, and he had a little sinister smile on his face a little bit too, so he may be looking forward to it. But just through our interviews yesterday, a word that I took away was confidence. Haley King was out there playing so confident. Kat Mertsch just on fire. Her energy showed on the course. Aria Castruita, who you've talked about extensively, the 2022 PDGA Rookie of the Year. She had a top 10 finish at U.S. Women's last year, 2 top 20 finishes on the Pro Tour this year already, and just her confidence was exuding. She was playing with Sarah Hokum and Jessica Weiss, and they were encouraging her, and I think that helped a lot.
I think there's something to be said about playing a stretch of the tour where there's so much roped off OB and then coming here and realizing, wow, I actually am a better disc golfer than I realized. There's so much failure that happens during this stretch of the tour with the open courses the players have to play, and it's great to see them come out alive and really shoot well on this course. I think record scoring for both divisions. Let's jump ahead to the PDGA, though. We have a lot going on here as well. What does the PDGA have going on right now?
Yeah, it's our push for candidacies for the PDGA Global Board of Directors. April 30th is the deadline. This is a crucial part of what we do. Those people steer the direction of the PDGA from the top to the bottom and have so much impact on how we continue to grow the sport. So if you're interested in doing that, you can apply online at pdga.com. All the information's there, and you got 2 days to do it, so get on it.
Make your voice heard. If you want disc golf to go in a specific direction, this is a very, very important thing to do. If you're a mover and shaker in your area, see if that voice can make an even greater impact. Up ahead, we're going to see from our NPO leaders in the division coming up this afternoon. Let's see what they had to say.
There should be a lot of pressure to attack this course and shoot really low. Today, I didn't feel much of that pressure. I was on a really casual card, so it just felt like another day playing a practice round. So definitely took some of the nerves off, but I don't think it'll be that way tomorrow.
2 more good rounds. I think my game feels good, and in most of the tournaments I've had a slow 9-hole stretch, not necessarily a slow round, but if I can put together 2 more solid rounds and just see where that stacks up. I'm not really focused on the win too much. I just want to play this course well.
You told me I was going to shoot 13 today. I'd be super happy going into it. I definitely got some good breaks out there. I can't say I wouldn't say I felt super comfortable on the course the whole time. Putt felt a little shaky at times. I had a couple short ones that fortunately grabbed, and then some tee shots that definitely got some good filters. Maybe like a one bad roll away off of a base, but like as a whole, I'm pretty happy with where I scored.
I have a few holes that I will play a little differently. 18, for example, there's multiple hyzer lines, believe it or not. I'll probably go the shorter hyzer, play for the par if the conditions are worse. Same with hole 5. I'll probably lay up if I have any sort of non-advantageous wind. So a few holes I might change the game plan, but otherwise gonna nose to the grindstone.
Calvin Heimburg, 13 under par. He was satisfied with the round. He knows there were still strokes to clean up, but I think it was a pretty solid start, I have to say.
Yeah, anytime you're 94% circle 2 in regulation, it's a good day. He didn't capitalize on as many circle 2 putts as he normally does. He had a lot of 50 and 60 foot looks that were off the cage, but he was controlling the pace of all those putts. He never 3-putted, and here at Jonesboro there's a lot of greens where a 3-putt is very possible if you start running some of those baskets that are on slopes.
A lot of players on hole number 12 in particular running that putt and then rolling all the way down the hill and costing them 2 or even 3 more strokes, and there's a lot of greens like that. 13 right after that is another green that people are running with a lot of failure rates. So like you said, Calvin's style of putt, board flat with good speed. I mean, the way he plays disc golf right now is some of the highest percentage golf that you could possibly play.
Yeah, his game looks fantastic, and I think that he's bringing a little bit more focus to this event, being a 2-time champion. There's only 2 other players that have won a Disc Golf Pro Tour event more than twice, Ricky and Paul. So I'm rooting for him.
Well, I also want to say it's funny. He almost seemed to get overshadowed that last round because Eagle plays this course so uniquely compared to the rest of the field, and he seems really tuned in when he talks about playing here.
Yeah, yesterday we heard him talking about already thinking about the weather for today and potentially changing up his game plan, playing for par. But we really saw an Eagle McMahon from a few years ago. I mean, his forehand isn't the same, Brian. We were there watching it in person all day yesterday, and the way that he's able to just keep his elbow close to his body and just a slight flick of the wrist, and he's still getting his 12-speed driver up to 350 feet. Wasn't that amazing?
He stepped up to hole 8, and neither of us thought he was going to throw the forehand. But what's interesting is he's keeping the elbow close to his body, but he's not tilting it at the spine to throw a power sidearm. This is literally injury prevention. You're not going to teach someone to throw a sidearm standing board straight up and down with the elbow pinched here. There's no power coming from that. But the fact is his wrist is so grooved in after all the years of practice that he can throw a spike hyzer on hole 8 and not even think about it. So it's good that he's utilizing it and seeing where he can use the forehand. But like he said on hole 9, his landing zone that he typically lands in is not suitable for a backhand. The green is sloped in a way where you can't necessarily do that, and he struggled to throw the backhand up there yesterday. So he mentioned he was getting to the short grass going super wide on 9, so we'll see if he can do that today. But like he said, out here in these conditions, there are different plays that he has, which obviously means he's been visualizing these for the past week or so. We're going to take another break. On the other side, what's a Tournament Central without some Kristin Tattar talk? We'll see you soon.
A lot of people say that Ed was the father of disc golf. Well, that's true. He did invent the basket. But Ed did another wonderful thing, probably his major accomplishment, was being the first person to realize that we had a sport on our hands, not just a toy.
In 1976, Steady Ed Hedrick founded the Professional Disc Golf Association with a dream of turning a flying plastic toy into a global sport. Since then, the PDGA, members, players, event directors, and volunteers have worked to realize that dream. From the very first baskets to courses around the world. And yet, it's only the beginning. We're looking to the horizon with even bigger dreams for tomorrow.
My favorite flavor of Double G Craft Jerky, easy choice, the teriyaki. I love my sweet and I love my salty food. It's a great combination of both.
Got to go for the hot boom sauce to give you that extra kick.
Probably going to surprise a lot of you guys. My favorite flavor is actually the Sexy Sweet and Spicy. I find it to be one of the best jerkies I've ever had.
Welcome back. Kristin Tattar not in the lead. Do we need to check her vital signs, Nate? Is she all right?
Yeah, I think she's okay, Brian. I mean, if you look at her score, you might be slightly concerned. We haven't seen her 7 strokes back of the lead in a year and a half. But if you actually watch the round, and she was still throwing crisp shots. She missed 6 putts from inside the circle, including a rollaway 3-putt on 18. I mean, if she makes that putt, she's 5 back, and we probably aren't even talking about her in the same sense. So I think yesterday's failure might have lit more of a fire. I think that we might see a hot round from her today.
Well, she shoots great in bad weather. The way she plays is very high percentage. We just talked about the same thing for Calvin. And she's prepared. She's a true professional when she comes out here. Here's a stat. She has not missed a second-round lead card since last year's DDO, which she won, which is just a wild stat to think about. So, yeah, I guess it's reasonable for people to be not concerned, but, like, shocked that she's not here playing on the camera card in the second round. But on a course like this, like she said during the presser, it's easy to kind of feel lackadaisical, especially after all the emotion pouring out at the Champions Cup. But I think, like you said, this could be the thing that lights the fire to come out here and shoot maybe an even better round than she shot yesterday in this rain.
Yeah, I think she's capable of that. And I just saw her walk out and play the first hole, and she doesn't have a caddy. And we just checked in with Seth Muncy, and it looks like the rain is going to steadily increase. We're actually going to see a little bit more wind, too, as we get closer to noon. And there's a chance that there's some lightning delays as well. So we've got all this bad weather looming. It's raining right now. She doesn't have a caddy. There's a lot of factors adding up that could prevent her from going low today.
Well, here's the big thing. You come to a day like this, you see the radar, you know what the day looks like. Some players are going to check themselves out. Some players are going to wake up in the morning, even professional players, and say, I don't want to show up and do this today. So for a champion like Kristin, it's easy to say, I don't need to worry about you, I don't need to worry about you, I don't need to worry about you. Even there's a lot of great traditional golfers that say, every time I hear somebody complain about the weather, I check them off my list of people to worry about. So I think someone like her with her mentality saying that adversity is a very powerful thing to maybe bottle up and use to your advantage, we'll just have to see. But I think today on Jonesboro, this side of heaven, it's going to be a little tougher for the players, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is, and I'm ready to get back to the action. That all we got for the fans at home, Brian?
I think it is. We're going to take one more commercial break. On the other side, we will wrap it up. We'll see you then.
Some say we're hidden, unless you know where to look. Hidden? No. This is where we stand up straight and tell you who we are, and where we put others first. This is where college football and barbecue are a season in the same. And there's always time for one more lap around the park. This is where we ask, what else can we accomplish together? Come find out. Be a part of this. This is Jonesboro, Arkansas. Now you know where to look.
Join the Paul Macbeth Foundation's Builders Club to help bring sustainable disc golf experiences to people and communities around the world. For a small monthly donation, you can help us make a real impact. Your donation will go directly to making a difference. By becoming a monthly subscriber, you'll also receive exclusive updates on our work, special offers, and discounts. So join us today and make a difference with the Paul Macbeth Foundation. Together we can make a big impact, one small donation at a time.
Welcome back, everybody, and let's take a look at some hot scores for the start. Katrina Allen, Vanessa Van Dyken, Maria Oliva. Who cares about the rain, Nate? We're grabbing some birdies today.
It's always amazing to see, Brian. The rain's coming down, the wind's starting to pick up, and these players are still cashing putts in from circle 2. I mean, they have to play the course. They have to play it. There's no avoiding putting with a wet disc. And yeah, it's always impressive to see scores under par when disc golf is hard in the rain. I mean,
yeah.
Especially like you were talking about the difference between a pitch and a spin. I mean, touch a little bit more on that, Brian. How you can be ready to putt. You pick your thumb off the disc, and then you get a drop right. We've all felt it. You get that drop right underneath where you put your thumb.
Yeah, grip management is so weird in the rain because you can dry your disc off, and then it gets sticky because all the oils and everything get rubbed off the disc. You're essentially washing it. And then it's hard to even let go of sometimes. So grip management, using a chalk bag, using anything you possibly can to get that same feel that you got yesterday in perfect conditions is a huge deal. So we'll just have to see how the players do. But hey, if they don't want to play disc golf today, there's so many fantastic things to do here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. What a wonderful place to be. Round 2, beginning for the FPO division. I'm Brian Earhart. He's Nate Perkins. We're signing off Tournament Central. We'll see you out there on the course.